to do a quick overview of your lesson in Hasbot. We are doing What's the Future of Earth's Climate? So when you log into Hasbot, I want you to look for this activity. I'm going to click Preview. Okay, this activity is What's the Future of Earth's Climate? So we're going to take a look at some data. We're going to look at evidence to try to determine what the future of our climate is. So I'm going to click Constructing an Argument. Now, we've already done page 1, so I'm going to skip page 1 if you're wondering what it is. That's where we saw the video where they're talking about the difference between a scientific argument and a regular argument, and we learned that scientific arguments require evidence. So we're going to omit this part for today, and we're going to go to the next one, which is page 2. Now, page 2 says that in this climate change activity, you're going to be asked to answer a series of questions that ask you to choose a claim, support that claim with evidence, and explain how certain you are about your answer. Got it? So we've done this before. And it says the red text will help you, it helps explain what you should include in each type of answer, and the gray text shows an example as a reference. So let's take a look at this graph. This graph shows temperature in red versus solar activity. Now, temperature is shown with the red line, and we see the temperature over here on the right side on the y-axis, and it's a temperature change, okay? So temperature change, so 0 would be no temperature change, above 0 is an increase in temperature, and below that 0 is a decrease from whatever the baseline was, okay? The blue line is irradiance, which is the amount of solar activity. Now, you might see a really light line and a dark line. The light line is the yearly amount of solar irradiance, or the yearly average temperature, and the dark line is a rolling average of those. So it's the 11-year average. So every 11 years, they average it out, and that gives you this line to kind of give you a trend. So for this one, it says it's important to make sure that you understand the data. So let's go through the data. Question 5, what quantity is on the x-axis? Question 6, what color shows temperature? And question 7, there are 4 sets of lines, 2 for temperature and 2 for solar irradiance. 2 of the lines show yearly readings. The other 2 show an 11-year average. What's the average temperature change reading for the year of 2000 in degrees Celsius? So that's reading the graph, okay? Now it has you interpret data from the graph to make a scientific argument. It says, based on the graph, is Earth's temperature dependent on the level of solar activity? Yes or no? Do you think the temperature is dependent on solar activity? So I want you to take a look here where it appears that the temperature was following the solar activity. But then what happened here? Solar activity began to decrease in about the year, I don't know, 1950-ish, 1960. But what happened to temperature? Got it? Let's go to page 3. And now the Hasbot. This explains how Hasbot works. And read this to answer this correctly. And I believe it says to click on the question mark, right? And that will help you answer the last one. That's it for this short little activity. In class, we will then begin a video. Got it?